This is Lawrence D. Adams, and I'm back again with another video as soon as I get it up. And here we are. Today, we're talking about men are called to dominate. That's right. Men are called to dominate, and submission is just a byproduct. Men are called to dominate. And I think it is imperative with all the things that's been going on recently about submission and everything that's been talked about, that we realize that men are really called to dominate. In this day and age, we have a lot of men. We have a lot of men who have lost their way in their manhood. To dominate means to take control or to rule over. To dominate is to take over or to rule over, or to have dominion over something. Many times when we hear that word in this culture, we think it as a bad word, but it is not a bad word. When you have dominion over something or you're dominating something, you're taking full control, but you're taking full responsibility for everything that happens with that. A lot of times what we have is men not exercising their dominion. And the first place that you must have dominion over is yourself. If you are not having dominion over yourself, then you need to look in the mirror like we talked about last week. You have to dominate yourself. That's right. You have to dominate yourself. And that is one of the problems, or one of the things that we need to examine when we talk about even dominion and submission. See, it was never what I really want to get at. It was never the design for a man to submit. He was always designed to be in what? Dominion, to rule over or to take responsibility of the area that he's in. But the first thing that a man must take responsibility of is himself. If he is not taking responsibility or ruling over himself in his spirit, mind, and body, how in the world does he expect to take over the world around him? Because once you begin to master yourself, your body, your mind, your soul, who you are, then you can go to the next level and begin to master everything around you. So that's when submission becomes a byproduct. Now, the order of things that's been happening in this world is that we have women who are now out of submission. So they're trying to be in dominance where they were never designed to be, in a place of dominance. See, we think that submission, when we hear it on these on these YouTube streets and everywhere else, that is a bad word. Submission is not a bad word. Actually, it's a gift that you give, and it's something that cannot be earned. So when you hear people say, well, it's earned, no, it's nothing that can be earned. It is something that is given. It is a gift. So it's so important that men understand the importance, first of all, of being in dominion over themselves. You have to dominate who you are, where you are at. There's some things in you that you need to adjust, because you need to dominate who you are. When you can dominate you, I give a story. I had to dominate myself to go make sure I get up and go do my walking. Now I got to incorporate something else. I need to get so many push-ups or so many sit-ups done, because you know why? I need to dominate different areas of my life, because I have to have an under rulership. See, if you cannot dominate yourself, how can you expect to dominate or rule over someone else? See, this is the game that no one teaches. They want the glitz and the glamour, but this is the behind the scene. This is under the hood that we're talking about. When you begin to get under the hood and realize that you had to dominate yourself, that's where the key is. See, everybody wants a woman to submit to them, but they have never been in a position where they're dominating themselves. Because when you begin to dominate yourself and the things around you, what happens is submission becomes a byproduct of your domination. Let me say it again. Submission becomes a byproduct of your domination. You really don't have to say much, but because of your presence and because of how you carry yourself and what you say, submission becomes a byproduct. And if in a situation that male and female, the woman does not submit to you, then you must be in your dominant mindset and in your dominant frame and say, you know what? You do not fit in the picture frame that I'm having. I'm gonna have to take you out. This is the thing that we don't talk about underneath the hood. How does this really work? It works when a man begins to dominate himself. He begins to pull himself under subjection. When he begins to say, you know what, there's some things I need to adjust. His whole energy begins to change. How he views the world. Once he begins to dominate himself, the next thing a man wants to do is dominate things around him. That means he wants to take care of his finances. He wants to take care of his living arrangement. He wants to dominate. He wants to have his own space. A man must have his own space that he calls his own. That is imperative, that a man has his own space that he calls his own. See, the thing of it is, you cannot say you're dominating if you have nothing to dominate. So you need your own space. It might be an apartment, it may be a house, whatever, something that you call your own. Then, like I said before, submission from women is just a byproduct. See, when you dominate your space and you have your own living arrangements, what happens is you set the parameters of what takes place inside of your area. Men are called to dominate. So you set the parameters of what goes on inside of where you are at. So when a woman comes over, say, to your house, to your apartment, or wherever the case may be, you immediately set the tone and the mood of what takes place inside of that space. See, the thing of it is, don't be fooled. I heard this on BGS Itmore. He said something somebody else said, but it was very important. Women don't act like they don't know what submission is. They know exactly what submission is. They submit all the time to their jobs. They submit all the time to people. They submit to this one. They submit to that one. But the key here is, what position are you in? What position are you in as a man? Remember, submission is not earned. It's a gift. And it has to do with something internal. Because as many times a woman can do something for you doesn't mean that she submitted to you, because it's a matter of the heart. And what happens is we have to turn the hearts of the women, hearts of the women have to be turned back to their men. And in this arena, a lot of women do not value men. A lot of women do not value men, so their submission is hard for them because their hearts are hardened. So they need to see dominant. They need to be, I don't want to say it this way. There has to be dom. They have to be like, no, this is the way they need to go. This society has so put everything lopsided. Everything is lopsided. The woman heart has to be in what she does. If she's submitting to you as a man, she can do actions that look like submission, but that doesn't mean that she submitted. It's when she does it from the place of her heart. When it's more than just words, when it's more than just actions, but she's doing from a deep place of respect and honor of who you are as a man. That's why I said submission is a gift from a woman. Women need to give up that gift to a man. And what happens is they think that if they become submitting, salute, what's going on, bro? They think that if they're submitted to a man, what's going to happen is going to lessen their value or lessen their power. Realizing that that's not the case. You cannot lessen the power of who you are. You actually become a more powerful, women become more powerful when they submit to the right man. There's nowhere in history where a woman has not, when she submitted correctly to the right man, that she did not become a better woman. See, what happens is we have the sexes, male and female, competing with each other. There shouldn't be any competition between us. What's going on? Red sings the blues. There shouldn't be any competition between the men and women competing with each other. I don't need to compete with you. So what happens is, that's why I'm saying men are called to dominate. Even if it's just a little space, you need to have something that you're dominating, that you're taking charge of. And I'm going to repeat myself. And the first thing you must do is you must begin to what? Dominate you as a person, as an individual. This societies can't be fixed as competing as you're right. That's right. That's true. Let me see what Red Sing the Blue, he said, bumping you up in the algorithm. Thank you. I appreciate it. Since child, I witnessed the competition. It's because we have trained our women. The women have been trained to compete with the man, while the men have not been trained to dominate. Who has taught men how to dominate and to rule in their life? Where is the rite of passages? Rite of passage. Where is the group of men from the previous generation pushing men to the next and where they need to go? We are designed by nature to dominate. We are designed by nature to rule a space. But because of the competition between the man and the woman, we have now created a space like this, where we now have to say, how do we fix this? And I keep saying, when you're in your domination as a man, or you're dominating as a man, the byproduct of that is a woman to be submissive. If she is not the woman that you need to deal with. She is not the one. Stop dealing with women. And this is the thing of it. I don't want to get people to get twisted. People think I'm gonna be dominant. No. When you dominate, you're not dominating in a place of dictatorship. You're dominating in the sense of you're there to protect her on a whole nother level. See, a lot of times people get it mixed up. Yeah, I'm dominating. No, when you dominate a certain area or a certain space, what happens is this. That means you're the ruler of that area. You're taking responsibility, but you're the ruler. So anything that happens in that space, guess what happens? It is your responsibility. Anything that happens in that space is your responsibility. And what happens is because of the competition inside between the sexes, it has weakened the relationship between the men and the women, but it's also weakened the community that we live in, because we think that it should be competition. It shouldn't be competition. We should be working together to compete to build a better future and leave a legacy. How would it be? I want you to think about this. You're in your place and you're dominating. And here comes a woman that submits to your program. She submits to your program. How much more would you accomplish? She's making the phone calls while you're doing this. You're doing this. You're making moves over here. She's taking care of that business. How much more will we accomplish as men and as in this community if we could get together? Like Rodney King said, can we just all get along? No, we're not going to all get along. But my point is, how much more can we accomplish? See, in this space, we made it a war between the sexes. No, the reality of it is we need each other. Men are called to dominate. Men are called to what? Dominate. I want you to really look in the mirror. What and who and what are you dominating in your life? First of all, is your, let's talking about dominating. Does your sexual drive dominate you? Does your sexual drive, your need to get some, dominate you? Let's keep it 100. Does your sexual need dominate you, or are you dominating it? That means you value who you put your pipe in. You value what woman you stick. I just have to be very clear because I don't want to sugarcoat any words. Are you valuing who you are as a man? See, when you're every men are called to dominate, they begin to value who they are. Who has told you that you are valuable? Who has told you that you are valuable? When you realize, I'm talking to you, men, when you realize how valuable you are, everything around you begin to change. Who you interact with, what you talk about, what you deal with begin to change. I'm telling you from the depths of my heart, you have to value who you are. Someone, I don't know, is this 4 people? I don't care who so many people watching. Someone needs to hear that. Whoever needs to hear that, you need to let me know in the chat room that you need to hear that you need to value who you are. You went through things. You went through college. You may not went through college. Whatever you went through life, you got to realize your experience, your time being on this earth to this point is valuable. Put a 2 in the chat room if this resonates with you. Put a 2 in the chat room if this resonates with you. Because you got to realize that you have to value who you are. The problem is a lot of men, this is the secret that they don't want you to know. Thank you. You got to realize that you got to value who you are. You say, yeah, I was excited. I'm going to, You definitely, Mose, man, you definitely, well, I'm about to put an invite inside of the chat room. 1 second, let me copy it. I'm going to put an invite. You're welcome to come up, but you got to value to my dude, John will come up. V, yeah, there we go. You can definitely come and hit the link and you can definitely come up, but you have to value who you are as a man. You got to say yay and nay, not maybe. That's having dominion in your life. That's being who you are. You have to value who you are as a man. That's having dominion. When you have dominion over yourself, you begin to have dominion of everything around you. Your whole essence begins to change because you know why your essence begin to change? Because there's certain things that you would tolerate and there's certain things that you will not. Mose, man, you can definitely hit the link. You can come up if you would choose to. You begin to see things on a whole different level. On a whole different level. Because you begin to dominate. And there's certain things that you would not allow in your space. Why? Why won't you allow them in your space? Because you are responsible for that. So let's get to the byproduct. The byproduct of dominance is what? Submission. It was never designed for the man to submit. So many people quote the Bible, and I can tell you the Bible never said that. It says, woman, wife, submit to your husband. And then it went on and said, what? Men love your wife. It never called for the man to submit. That is the crooked lie that's been given and propagated inside of the community. It never called for the man to submit. He was only called to what? Love the woman. It said, woman, submit to your husband. See, everybody take the Bible and read it all backwards and try to get out what they want to benefit them. No. And the dangerous thing, even men use it wrong. Woman, you better submit to me. My question, have you loved her? That's the difference. It never called for men to submit to the woman. It never called for that. I know in this whole day and age with Sir Terry Lee, wherever the girl named, the lady on that channel, I ain't submitting to the man 50-50. You know what? That can only go for so long because no man wants to do the woman who's difficult. Let me add you on. What's going on, bro? Let me add you on. So here we go. John should be in a minute. So you definitely want. What do you have to say about this?
Salute LDA. Happy Tuesday, man. Well, was it Wednesday now? No, it's still Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Same to you. Same to you.
I'm liking what you're saying. I definitely read a lot, and I definitely I connect that to my mental acuity. It's always good to have discernment in the world because the more you know, the more you know. I stopped believing in useless information because at the very least, there's always going to be an experience where I'm going to be using something.
Mm.
So
that's
I dig
good,
it, man.
I appreciate that. See, and that's what I want guys to really understand. Men were definitely called to dominate. There's something, there's the guy out there who's a master and dealing with ants. He's dominating ants. So when I have an ant problem, who do I call? The man that's dominating or a master and dealing with ants. So we got to realize where we are at. You need to find something that you're dominating over. What happens is when you begin to dominate an area or become a master in an area, you begin to automatically get the byproduct of a person, because we talk about women, submitting to what you're doing. These two work hand in hand. So you can't ask a woman to submit if you're not being dominant. It can't happen. Because she's not going to submit to a weak man.
That's very true. You can never forget that.
What do you think about that?
It's 100% true. You have to be the pirate, the captain of your ship. You got to be sailing through the 7 seas, going for every goal that you ever have in life, and believe in yourself and visualize it.
Yeah, and that's where guys miss it. The byproduct of submission is dominance. You should be dominating something. You should be dominating something. You should be ruling over something. To dominate is have control over. See, women look, let me give you a secret about women. Women look for a man because they can smell the essence of a man who is doing something. If you are a parked car, she's not going to get in and follow you. She's not going to submit to you. If you are a parked car, don't expect a woman to submit to you. Women are not going to do that. It is when you begin to say, you know what? I didn't listen to enough content on YouTube. I'm going to take charge of my life. Too many people are waiting for somebody else, the government, this one or that one to take charge of life. You must take charge of your life and say, this is enough. Whatever I need to do, I'm about to rule my life. I'm about to get my stuff together. When you decide to get yourself together and say, I'm a man and I'm called to dominate, things begin to change. You will get a better quality of woman when you get into that mindset. I know you got something to say. I see you unmute.
Mm, I like the way you think. It's a very simple. It's simple for better health. I connect peace to my physical health.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to think logically about things to make sure, and while also using, the EQ, the high EQ.
Mm-hmm.
I like to understand what should be done in each different situation, and to get myself out of trouble and to move forward. Not fun. Life
Yeah.
is still fun. Life is fun when you take charge.
Say that. That's good. Life is fun when you take charge. Either you're going to drive or you're going to be in the back seat. You got to decide what position you're going to play. Either you're going to drive or you're going to be in the back seat. And too many of us men have decided to sit in the back seat and not take the driver's wheel. Too many men have decided to take the back seat. And you're getting this is let me break this down and announce you a little bit more. You decided now to get from the back seat to the front seat, but you're getting directions from people who have never been places that you're trying to go. Careful on where you hear information from. Careful who's giving you information on how to walk into your manhood. I didn't say a color of appeal. I didn't say that. I'm saying walk into your manhood. You got to be careful who's giving you directions now that you're behind the wheel, because some people are here to lead you into a ditch or ride you right into a wall. Because the reality of it is, I'm going to get very clear. A lot of men that are on here, they secretly want to get married. They secretly want to find a good wife. They secretly want to find a good girlfriend. But you got to be careful who's giving you the roadmap to your manhood.
I definitely agree with that. You remind me of this book. It's called The Elegant Solution. I bought it from Goodwill a few days ago. The Elegant Solution, Toyota's Formula for Mastering Innovation.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically to talk about the philosophy of how they construct those cars.
Mm-hmm.
And I dig it. I got to read it. I thought I'd recommend that to you. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, that sounds something someone I would read. I think I read something about how Ford did that. And I think another company did something. They had it was a foreign company. They did the same thing. They had a simple philosophy that they stood by to get to where they were going. And now their car company has done very well because it kept a simple philosophy. And I think that's what a lot of men need to understand. This is not hard. We've made it hard. Society has made it hard to actually keep you away from your women, or from, I don't want to say women, from your woman. It's actually easy. That's the secret. That is the secret. That's why I've been focusing on what's going on, Annalene. There you go. That's what I've been focusing on. Simple thing. Men, get this together. Your mind. Get your spirit and your mind to connect. A lot of times our spirit and our mind, we haven't dominated our minds. First, we haven't dominated our bodies. Then we haven't dominated our mind, because our minds are in our minds. Let me break it down a little bit more. If you don't master your imagination will master you, because your imagination is the playground of the gods.
True. Say that again. I love that.
A lot of people have not mastered their mind, so they have not mastered their imagination. And when you don't master your imagination, you don't realize that your imagination is the playground of the gods. You have to master your mind, your imagination. That's why I'm saying men are called to dominate. Now, see, if you dominate your mind, what do you think you're going to pour? Because men are givers. Women are receivers. If your mind is together and you're pouring inside of this woman, because remember, we have the phallus to give to a woman, but if you're giving your mental to her woman, she's going to receive it and multiply whatever you're giving her. So that's why it's so important you first master your imagination. That is why, that's what men are called to dominate and master their mind, master their spirit. Because then she has something to submit to. It's that simple. It breaks so simple. She has something to submit to. It becomes her gift that she gives to you. It becomes your what? Gift that she gives to you. It's nothing that you have to do. You got to earn my submission. No, 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 no. She freely gives. Why? Because you're freely in your masculinity. These two work together. So anyone who violates the cycle of how this works doesn't belong in your cycle. So any woman who violates that, who do not want to submit, she needs to be out of your cycle. Too many men waste time on women who are not part of their program. And then I have to say, do you have a program?
That's the question of the day. Do you have a program?
Do you have a program? Do you have a program? A lot of guys, man, I can teach game all day. I know game. I can teach red pill. I can teach that. I can teach black pill. I can teach yellow pill, green. I can go. No. Do you have a program for your life? What is she coming into? Well, we can talk about purpose. I'm not talking about purpose. What is your game plan? Where you going, bruh? I know you got something to say about that.
You know, you make me think about the systems. And systems come from ideas, i.e., the founder, that movie about McDonald's, Ray Kroc.
Mm-hmm.
If you just create a system for your life and you keep it really simple and you have goals and you achieve them, it's the exact same thing as a system. So it'll be effortless.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's what guys in that you need to have a system. I have a system on what I do. I get up every morning. I know I make sure I drink water, whatever I need to do. I go walking. It's my system. So anytime who wants to deal with me, you got to fit into my system of me going walking. That's
how long do you go to on your walks? Like an hour or something?
It's like that's like an hour and some. Just a walk. I walk. Clear
that's
my
a nice
mind.
walk. That's a nice time. A nice hour walk.
Yeah. Right. Why do I do it? First of all, I do it for health, but I also do it because it forces me to get up out of bed and do something. So that's the thing. I had to dominate this right here. So my next domination of this is a fast. Next domination is back into the weight rooms. So it is actual gradually. Then the next thing, dominating what? I'll talk about the mind a lot. I got tons of books I need to catch up on. So it's always something that you move. What happens when you begin to move like that and to begin to evolve as a man and you're dominating yourself and then you begin to dominate things around you? Somehow women begin to pick up on that and begin to come into your orbit. And Alina, if I'm telling the truth or I'm lying, they begin to get into your orbit and they don't know why they're drawn to you. Why?
And they're just around.
They don't even know why. I don't know why. It's something about you. It's because you're moving in a way like other men are not moving. See, we're afraid, especially on these YouTube streets, to be different. And anytime somebody's different, first thing we want to call is, are they gay? No, they're not in the box that you put them in.
I just drive right past them, man.
Right. That's the thing. When you I think you're into music, right?
Yes, I studied music business. I also study audio.
Why would you? Think about this. Who would be attracted to you but a woman who has the same interest? She's there to breathe on what you're doing. We miss it so much chasing the idols of what everybody else says is attractive versus what attracts us.
You got to know your program. First question of the day. Do you know your program?
Do you know your program? Do you know your program? Do you know your program? Men are called to dominate. Submission is just a byproduct of it. You got to realize it's just a byproduct of it. When you want to go to the next level of this, you begin to dominate everything in your life. When you wanted to know about audio, what did you do?
I read books. I went to school for it. I practiced, and I just went inside myself and just put my nose to the books.
Was it easy?
No, but it was worth it. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. Why was it fun?
I have a very curious mind, so I like to know about knowledge and just use it to further discern the environment around me as I grow up, and to make good choices and to enjoy my journey, but to be intentional about my decisions.
Mm-hmm. That's the power of it. That simple answer right there is one of the keys to domination. So with the word I want to grab out of what you said, discipline. You were disciplined to do what you needed to do so you become dominant in that area. Disciplined. Those are bad words over here. Bad words in the men's spirit. No. We want the magic pill. There's no magic pill. It's called discipline. Put in the work. Disciplined. Become a disciple. That means your disciple is a derivative. It comes from disciplined. Disciple, disciplined. A disciplined one. It's that easy. So if you really want to be, I don't realize these streams are not for everyone. I'm cool with that. I'm not looking for the crowds. I'm not looking for the numbers. I'm looking for the people that are going to be impacted from what's being said. Until you are, and I want to make it so simple that even my sons can understand this.
Shout out to your son.
Yeah, my sons, they're doing it. One is in college, one about to graduate.
Oh, dope.
So that they understand men are called to dominate. In this day and age, you become a rarity if you begin to dominate your life and things around you. You become strange. Like, who are you? Because you are matter of fact, and you're in your authentic self. So when I hear people talk about dominating, okay. Have you dominated yourself? I'm not going to stay here too long. And I probably need to start going live more often. And think I am going to increase that.
Yeah, man, I dig your streams. I dig what you say. Your streams of consciousness.
Yeah.
And you're stylish too.
Appreciate that. Yeah, but I think I definitely. So you in the chat room? I definitely need you to put a number 2 in the chat room. 2 is the number tonight. 2. Put the number 2 in the chat room so we can get that going, because I think Jono hasn't came in yet. And 2 is the number you need to put in the chat room. I see 5 people watching, so I need 5 people need to put a 2, and you need to hit the like on the video. Put a 2 in the chat room. I'm be the first one to put it in there. I need you to put a 2 in the chat room. There's a reason why I'm actually to put 2 in the chat room. When this video begins to render and it goes back up on YouTube, put a 2. Only you and us in this chat room on this video would know what we were talking about when we put the number 2 in the comments. It's the reason why we put the number 2. I want you to connect to what we're talking about. I want you to be the man. I want you to be that man that's called to be in dominance. I want you to realize to get the fruit of the byproduct of dominance is submission. I need you to make sure that you put that 2 in the chat room. So I see you listening. You might as well participate and put the 2 in the chat room, because it connects you to what we're saying. What was shared today is, I'm going to cut it. What we're shared today is going It's going deeper inside of you than what you think. This is not for the, this is not for the, this is not kiddie. This is not arguing back and forth with others. This ain't on that kind of jazz. This ain't talking about sex, because I can talk about sex all day. Yeah, I can talk. I have a whole another channel for sex. I haven't even hit on that. But it's not talking about sex. This is about getting you in like a chess piece in position as the king. Dude, do you really understand what I'm doing for you? I'm putting you in position as the king in your world. This is your chess world. This is not for me. I'm here to serve you. But if you can get into your position, you can begin to move things on your chessboard to the rook. You begin to move the what? What's the other? Oh man,
the bishop, the knight.
The knight. You begin to move all of them around because it's your world. And you realize, can I go deep? Can I go deep? Let's go. Okay,
Always go deep.
Okay, let me go deep. You realize that you are in every position on your chessboard. You play every position on your chessboard. What do you mean? That means you know, you embody every move that needs to be taken. If the rook needs to move, you know how to move it. If the bishop needs to move, you embody the bishop and begin to move. If the pawn needs to move, you know how to move it. Why? Because you embody every piece of the chess on your chessboard.
You're right about that. What I love is that the king and the queen on the board are complementary pieces. They're not opposites. They help each other win.
Say that again for the people in the back.
When you play chess, your king and your queen are complementary pieces. They win together in the overall game of life.
They don't want, they do not want to hear that. When see, they don't, not on the manosphere. No, not here. They are designed to work together to help you win in life. Hence I had to bring the course back out. So if I said you are every piece, you are the king and the queen, that means your queen is stuck inside of you trying to get out. So if you have not met the woman that you're looking for, you have not brought her out. I'm giving too much away for free. I'm gonna stop all of this. I'm gonna start bringing stuff to Zoom for back behind the closed door conversation. But that's powerful what you said. They're designed to work together to help you win in life. People don't get that.
Or maybe they don't want to.
They don't, correct. They don't want to.
And we also don't read. We also don't do much reading, unfortunately.
No, we do not. We do not do a lot of reading. And so what happens is, like I said on Red Sing the Blues, on the interview I did Sunday, check him out. I said, what we have a lot of people who are like cows, especially on the YouTube. They're like cows. What they do is they get the information, chew it up, and then regurgitate it and chew it up again. And that's called what? Cud. So we have a lot of people giving out cud, rehashed, re-chewed up what? Information that they never really taste or experience. So we have a lot of cud over in being given out instead of something that's actually of value. Why would you want something that's processed or chewed up given back to you?
Something like stuff. I make my own stuff, created from my own mud.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We have a lot of people who give out cud. So it's powerful when you begin to understand the depths of what I'm saying. I think I'm close to an hour, and I want to be over an hour. But I really want you guys to realize that men are called to dominate. I bet you, I don't know why. As soon as I jump off, John will jump on. What's going on, man? You ready?
Mm.
Yeah. But men are called to dominate. And domination, when you begin to dominate your life and the things around you, submission becomes a byproduct. And if she does not want to submit to you, tell her, hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. Let me say it like this, because a lot of people ain't gonna do it. Don't deal with a woman gonna give you a hard time, a bunch of lip, who's not what? Submissive, compliant, and what? Submissive, compliant, and willing and willing. Why would we deal with women are difficult? If we were just to do those, expect those three things from women, women would change. Because they'll say, what do we need to do to get the man's attention? Because I said before, prior, women want to have sex more than men. So they would do anything to get, they need our attention. So if we give an attention for silly stuff and we give it for things that really have value, guess what happens? They begin to change. This is Lawrence D. Adams. Thank you to my special guest coming up. He didn't know. I seen him on the red, seen the blues. So I said, bro, come on up. Plus, I know who you are. This is all I'm going to share.
I appreciate you bringing me up at LDA. Thank you for the invite. It's really fun.
No problem.
I dig the knowledge that you spit. You're very intentional about the way you live your life, and I respect that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. The music's about to come on. I'm about to tow my camera up. I ain't told you. I'm about an hour. I think I might need to start doing something live every day, because I really need to discipline myself to do that and come up every day and actually share. This is Lawrence D. Adams, and I'm about to mute, and we